This is TJ with TechmadeEZ. Welcome to the channel. The channel is all about making things affordable, practical, and easy. What we're going to be talking about today is a neighbor friend of mine. A neighbor friend of mine ran into a dilemma with her laptop. Now, I knew that she was having issues with her laptop on moving to Windows 11 because her laptop is not Windows 11 compatible. She bought this laptop 8-10 years ago from a local dealer here. And at the time she bought it, it was a really nice laptop. It's a 17-inch keyboard on the side. She really likes the layout of it. She likes the screen. She likes everything about her laptop. She really doesn't want to spend money on another laptop when hers is working fine. And when you buy a PC from this particular local dealer, one of the advantages there is that they'll do a free tune-up every year for you. So she took her laptop in for her yearly tune-up, and they said, hey, you need a new laptop. This isn't going to run Windows 11. And so she brought it home. She says, well, I'm not ready to do that now. And so she talked to me about it. She knows that I'm skilled in computers. And so she asked me a few questions and says, hey, there's a couple of options here. You can run Windows 11 on your laptop, even though it's not compatible. It's very easy to do. Or you can go to Linux. And I go, I personally, with your laptop, I'd go to Linux. I showed her a Linux interface. And this is a thing about today with Linux. There are so many people that could be using Linux today. They just don't know it. They just don't even have the skill to even install it. And most people just want to go on the internet, maybe upload some things on social media, and that's it. And those type of people are the people that could be using Linux today. They don't have specific proprietary software needs, but they don't have the know-how to get into Linux. So this neighbor of mine, she's in her 60s. But she does a lot of posting on social media. She has a large family. They also travel, so they're taking tons of photos, always recording everything that they're doing with their social media accounts. So at any rate, what ended up happening is her computer had a fatal crash. Windows would no longer boot. She took it into there, and they said, nope, there's a hardware problem. We can't fix it. You need to upgrade. And to be honest, I think they just wanted her to buy a new laptop. And so she says, well, just keep the computer, and they gave her hard drive and backed everything up for her. And this computer has 2 hard drives in it, or 2 drives in it, I should say. And so she called me up as soon as she got off the phone with them, and I said, no, go get your laptop. Do not let them keep your laptop. So she went and got her laptop, and sure enough, I went ahead. She agreed for me to put on Linux on there, and I'll tell you which distro I put on there as soon as we go to her Linux desktop. So anyway, I put Linux on there. It runs great, way faster than her Windows 10. In fact, she was having a little bit of a problem with her Windows 10 a couple of months ago that she showed me, just running really slow. When she'd open up the file manager, it was constantly, never ever stopped refreshing. It was always in that refresh mode. And I remember when I was running Windows before, I'd run into that issue as well, where it just ran into, you'd go into the file manager and it just would always refresh. And it might be a large directory you're on, so on and so forth. But at any rate, put it on there. She's surprised how easy it is to use the Linux desktop. And so, and again, she's somewhere in her mid-60s, and she's not super computer savvy, but she's savvy enough to do her social media stuff. And her needs are pretty simple as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at the desktop, which one I decided to put on there for her, and what apps that she may need to complete this journey, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now I'm on my neighbor's laptop. So what I went and installed was KDE Neon. Now this is KDE Neon. It's not another distro. It's KDE is the ones that produce the Plasma desktop, but they also have their own distro as well. Now you can get Plasma on a ton of distros. Fedora, Ubuntu, Steam itself is KDE Neon as well, the Plasma desktop. I just prefer to install KDE's desktop when I'm installing it on a laptop. Gaming, I'd probably use a different distro, but for a laptop and for the simple use that she wants, this is great. And the one reason why I like KDE Neon, now I don't use KDE Neon personally on my personal computer, but on a laptop. If I'm using a laptop, I'll use KDE Neon. I just feel like the interface is a little clearer on a laptop, and For someone that's coming from Windows to Linux, I believe that KDE Neon is the closest match, unless you're making a Linux clone of Windows. That KDE Neon is probably the closest to Windows. Obviously, Linux Mint is out there as one of the easier ones as well. But when you first install Linux Mint, it's pretty boring. It doesn't take much to doctor it up and make the desktop look beautiful. But KDE Neon out of the box is usually pretty good. Usually has a decent background. Now, me personally, I am a Linux Mint person, but on a laptop, I like to put KDE Neon on it. For some reason, it's just a little clearer. I don't have a problem using KDE Neon or Linux Mint. Just on my desktop, I prefer Linux Mint. And the problem is with Linux Mint, I really wish that they would have a flashier desktop when you install it. It's really pretty basic. Here's their basic layout of Linux Mint when you install it. But this is what you can turn it into, and this is my desktop here. And it's not even that hard. It's just a couple of mouse clicks away to make a Linux desktop look like this. There's no going to the command line, no nothing. Everything that you see on my Linux desktop is all built into it. You just have to know how to activate it and do it. It's just mouse and click and point. But going back to KDE Neon, you load it up and this is what it looks like. It's great. It's awesome. So I did add a couple of apps here. Let me just show you. She uses mostly Google Docs, Google Sheets, but I did still put an Office program on here for her to use. I put two of them on here because she can decide which one she wants. My Office program, and I do have a video on the different Office programs that I'll put in a link below. But my favorite one is FreeOffice. I don't see a lot of people talk about FreeOffice. In fact, I'll just show you the word processor here for a sec. It just gives you an interface. I just like the interface to this a little better. It reminds me more of Microsoft Office. It's not that some of the others don't. This one, I just like the look and feel of it. It seems to be pretty compatible with Microsoft. It saves everything as Microsoft documents, so on and so forth. So, in fact, if you want, we can just open up the spreadsheet here. You're going to notice that it really doesn't look that much different. She doesn't do anything super complicated with spreadsheets. So she's not going to have to worry about any compatibility with formulas. One thing about the free Office programs, if you put a ton of formulas and 3D spreadsheets into it, it may not be 100% compatible with the free ones. There's only one that I've found that works with one of our complicated spreadsheets that my wife uses, and so she uses that Office program instead of this one because of its compatibility with that spreadsheet. But like for me, I do basic stuff with spreadsheets. So I don't need that. I'm not doing anything with super complicated formulas if someone's giving me a spreadsheet. So anyway, so I put the free Office on here, and I'll just go in here to Office here. I also put only Office in here, and because I don't know, she might feel more comfortable using only Office or free Office. And like I said, she doesn't use that a lot. She uses Google Sheets, but she does have a lot of documents that are on her hard drive, so it'll just make it easier for her to use one of these to do that. Now the other thing is that she does do Zoom, so I went ahead. Zoom is on here as well, and then she uses Google Chrome, so I went ahead and installed Google Chrome. She does do Spotify as well. So Spotify. Now the one thing I will say, I need to back up for a minute here. One thing about KDE Neon, and I kind of like this. When you install the operating system itself, it has minimal applications. The ones just basic applications like VLCs installed in there to watch videos. They have a picture viewer. They have a PDF viewer. The picture viewers also do minor edits to pictures, like adjust the cropping, stuff like that, the colors and shading, contrast, brightness, so on and so forth. And that's really all that she needed her computer for. Is all she does take pictures. They go a lot of places, so they're always constantly updating their social media with places they go and with their family events, so on and so forth. So that was most important to her, is just that she was able to use her laptop the same as she did with Windows, get her pictures on there. Now she doesn't need to use KDE Connect because she uses Google Photos, and so she just always has Google Photos open on her laptop, and whenever she takes pictures, she just downloads it from Google Photos. That's just the way she's done it for years, so we just left it at that. Okay, if this is the first time you've ever seen the Linux desktop, let me just show you how easy it is to install a program. So I mentioned that I had to install Chrome or Google Chrome, Zoom, so on and so forth. So if we just type in Zoom here, so Linux uses a GUI software manager. and it makes it great. So almost any application you can install through the GUI. You don't have to go to the command line. You don't have to go search the internet for, I would say, 95% of most of your apps. Sometimes there are some apps in which you do have to go to the internet, like the free Office that I put on there. It's not in the store, so I just go in and download it and install it that way. So on occasion, rare occasions, will you ever have to go to the command line. Even the free Office that I put on the system, I didn't have to go to the command line. I just downloaded the install app and just double-clicked on it and it installed it. But there are also occasions where you might have to go to the command line, but very rare. Most people are not going to have to go to the command line to install any of their apps. So, so anyway, I just wanted to show you how easy it is to go in here and find an application, so on and so forth. And now there is one thing though that any Linux distribution does not have Microsoft fonts. So that's the one thing that we also installed here, is we went ahead and installed the Microsoft fonts. And you can find this, sometimes you can do this from this Linux software manager or store, and sometimes you can't, but this is the command line. It's really simple. I'll have it in the description below, and it's just a sudo apt install kubuntu-restricted-extras, and that installs some codexes and then the Microsoft fonts and some other things just to make Linux a little bit more compatible with Windows. So that's all you need to do there. I've already done it, so I'm not going to hit it. It'll just say it's already installed, and so that we can have our Microsoft fonts in our Office suite. So that's really all that I had to do to get her going. She loves it. She thinks it's great, and so again, it's pretty simple. Her needs are really simple. This is the whole thing that I was trying to explain before, is that there are so many people out there that could use Linux. Basic users that just surf the internet, update their social media, manage some pictures and videos, so on and so forth. All that can be done on Linux, but very easily, so on and so forth. But they just don't have the technical know-how to install it, get everything set up. So obviously I volunteered to do that for her. And again, KDE Neon, my wife is running it on her laptop. My other neighbor is running it on his laptop. He's been doing Linux or KDE Neon for the past 2 years. Loves it. His laptop was just slower than molasses because his IT guy installed Windows 11 on this old laptop that he just couldn't do it. But anyway, so I hope that was helpful. That I just want to let you know that there are lots of people that could be using Linux today, and they just don't realize it. They don't even know what Linux, so many people don't know what Linux is. And I don't expect them to. Most people that have a computer, they just want to get on there, surf the web, manage their photos, whatever it is. Most of them don't have a clue. As long as it works, they don't care. But she did not want to go to Windows 11. She didn't want to have to buy another computer. She can afford one. So this was an opportune time to move her over. So I hope that was helpful and enlightening. Don't be afraid of Linux. It's actually for a lot more people out there than what people think. And in today's world, you very rarely have to go to the command line. The only thing I went to the command line here for was just to install the font and the other package. So this is TJ with TechmadeEZ. Hope that was helpful. Have a great day. Thanks.
Now that was easy peasy.